During President Mahama Nisuna no okoko piemu ewo parliament BBB AC ewo parliament aha gossip politics TV so subscribe na hit on the notification bell send be any update be dropping on onso onsa ebetumi akabi na ebusuan dan na AC Afenyo Markins raise some corruption alleged corruption scandal be a ekoso ewo security recruitment no abusuana or the assembly etudwa oka se eye appointee bi senior appointee bi ewo President Mahama ne government ni ma oberoti in jail abusuana according to Afenyo Markins no or say senior appointee bi ewo President Mahama ne government ni ma roti in jail. Na then no ka say then see ebema nipa no roti in jail. Security recruitment or no or say there is some corruption scandal bi. Or press muntaka ne neck or just say muntaka onim sa corruption scandal na ekoso ewo security recruitment ekoso no so. Abusuya Bibia happen na yepese ye customer mind back on sooner na ekọ so Afenyo Markins na no masem mom yenko na yenkonkoti asema Afenyo Markins ekafa recruitment process ekọ so of file allegation against Muntaka mom yenkonkoti ye ba ye de aka ababeto amoso
soon and very soon let me assure you that somebody a senior appointee who is in charge of this tribe net would go to jail. So the one behind TribeNet, the one who introduced TribeNet to the ministry, who is chopping money, Mr. Speaker, we are happy you are showing. Very soon we'll bring a picture. Then you will see the one in charge.
Afenyo Markins yeten nka say odisa ensemno etudwa na after say odisa ensemno etudwa wie no abusua Muntaka drage no de nkokopie mu ewo parliament privilege committee say omra mekire no baby asa corruption scandal de ewo na Muntaka nani ebre Afenyo Markins so ya o che say enya ade a ode Afenyo Markins so ebeche no enti no ode Afenyo Markins ekokopie mu ewo privilege committee se omonye enhwehwemu se any scandal bi ewo recruitment process ekoso afusua ema Afenyo Markins na so hye momye ntie time Muntaka esore ejina parliament or drag Afenyo Markins to privilege committee yeba sound aka ato amso.
On Friday during the State of the Nation address, the minority leader got up here. Even before then, Mr. Speaker, if you recollect, you were in the chair on Thursday. When he started this allegation, I took the opportunity on the floor to correct him and show him and even encourage him that if he wanted information, he could write and I'll furnish him with all the details. He decided to take advantage of the State of the Nation when the whole world was listening to us to say categorically that the current internal security recruitment is scandalous. There's corruption looming. People will go to prison. He said it on this floor. And I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker, based on our standing order 31, E and F, that is contemptuous. And I'm saying that let's give him an opportunity to go to privileges where you have all the ample time and opportunity to provide all his allegations so that we'll meet him there with our facts. So, Mr. Speaker, that is what I'm referring, that we are having too many of such things coming from somebody like the minority leader. And the time for him to prove his allegation is here. And the best place to do that, Mr. Speaker, is at the privileges.
Abusuya Muntaka chese yete nka na odisa ensemno etudwa chese drage Afenyo Markins ekokopie mu ewo privilege committee na abusuya yanka bianshim Afenyo Markins ohun se baby a asem no ekwa na abusuya na Afenyo Markins aba abonten epa Muntaka chose boss me pacho asema me kan no me boa fa me bone cheme sa allegations me file against you ni nyina no me de gu ani ma ase no abusuya me ni Afenyo Markins oni evidence bia efa sa allegations of file against Muntaka no so no na busuya we ɛna ama mpanyinfoɔ Ghanafoɔ ne bi a strike on Afenyo Markin so ɔkyerɛ sɛ saa apology a waba apologize no yɛntie ne nnɛ ɛntie ne kyina ɛnti saa apology no yɛ rejected. According to Honorable Inusa Fuseni, or say any many wa order Speaker Bagbin say on declare a Afenyo Markins ni seat ni vacant na contempt of parliament so near the enchino because Afenyo Markins na kwa koye no obia de bia no ondi embra bia so parliament saa na chese Speaker Bagbin omukoko PMO ECOWAS yamfa odin anka ho omukoko PMO ECOWAS na Afenyo Markins te ho enim guase a ode bre Ghana saa asem no so ne drage Afenyo e de ne ko privilege committee enso saa asem na anko ankosi ba bia enti saa asem we na esi no enye muntaka e na Afenyo Markins e pa na cho Ghana for ye nya ya adwen say ye be accepting apology no enti no enim ya Speaker Bagbin en declare ni seat ni vacant na say MPB amba parliament for number of times bia you to me declare ni seat ni vacant na de ene Afenyo Markins aye no parliament yi enya ade a yebetumi de ne bone ache no mom yanko na yanko tie eye Afenyo Markins a all apologize to Muntaka and Inusa Fuseni blaster or blaster Afenyo Markins and also order Speaker Bagbin say on declare ni seat ni vacant mom yanko na yanko tie on subscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any updates be able dropping also on sa ebetumi akabi gossip politics TV so madam I say
if as a speaker the text of my concerns reflected so it is hereby accordingly withdrawn. And Mr. Speaker, as colleagues, when a member feels strongly about a statement which is unintended, the right thing to do is to withdraw and apologize to him. Mr. Speaker, I proceed to do so and to assure him that concerns that would arise out of any matter shall be properly be brought to his attention. But on this matter, as I've said before, I will repeat it for Hansa, that anything related to him or his ministry is withdrawn. And again, apologies to him.
Take a critical look at yesterday, what happened in Parliament. Yesterday, and I believe you know that during the SONA, the State of the Nation address, the minority leader had made some statement that the majority side saw it to be scandalous. In fact, they labeled those statements as scandalous statements. Allegations of infractions when it comes to the security recruitment in our security setup as a country. They talk about the fact that some persons in government were using TribeNet, to offer recruitment to, well-meaning Ghanaians. So the minority leader made a lot of statements on that. Following that, the majority was in the House, I think on Tuesday, and the call was that we're going to drag the minority leader before the Privileges Committee of Parliament for making what they describe as those, scandalous statements. Well, he didn't go before the Privileges Committee. Yesterday, we got knowledge that he had, apologized before or in the House of Parliament. In fact, the call was that he would be dragged and that hearing should be made public for all Ghanaians to hear what he had to say. But he's apologized and he's been forgiven by Parliament. Ghanaians, a lot of Ghanaians, have come out to express dissatisfaction and rather calling for more into this. And I want to start with Talaji on this. You have been involved in the parliamentary affairs. I don't know what you make of the apology that was rendered and the subsequent calls by a section of Ghanaians for more, investigations onto the allegations that he made.
So, first of all, Parliament is a house of rules. The most critical legislation that regulates the conduct of members of Parliament is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and the Parliamentary Standing Orders. Now, I'll give you one example. if a member of parliament absents him or herself from parliament for a number of days without written permission of the speaker and without a reasonable explanation to the privileges committee, that member of parliament seat can be declared vacant. My interest now is without reasonable explanation to the privileges committee, because that conduct, such a conduct, will be an affront to the dignity of parliament. And so it's a conduct that is a subject matter of investigation by that will be a subject matter of investigation by the privileges committee. Again, you can utter false and misleading statements in parliament. If you utter false and misleading statements in parliament, you will be in contempt of parliament. That conduct will be contemptuous of parliament, because the business of parliament is a serious business. That the country invests a lot of money in getting the legislature, which is a critical arm of government, to be in place. And because they are representing all of us, we expect that when they are discussing matters of national importance, they will be candid, truthful on the floor of the House, and attach some level of seriousness to their work. And so if you get to Parliament as a member of Parliament and you are in the business of uttering falsehood or misleading statements on the floor of the House, it will be contemptuous. You'll be scandalizing Parliament. You'll be lowering Parliament in the estimation of right-thinking men. That's why that conduct will be punishable. So we had Afenyo Markin. And I must hasten to add, to be honest with you, that I have a very low opinion of Afenyo Markin. To be honest with you, in 2015, 2016, thereabouts, he committed a similar offense in Parliament, and I was in Parliament. And I was a person who got up and moved a motion to refer that conduct to the Privileges Committee. But the Speaker, because it was ifasha, because what I was complaining about happened in the presence of the Speaker and whatnot, and had gotten up. The Speaker then was of the view that he should withdraw that statement. And then he did. Because it was simply misleading, it was not true. So, and subsequently, I'll give you another example. We have a Parliament of Ghana, and we have the ECOWAS Parliament. The ECOWAS Parliament is constituted by members from the national parliaments. And the members of the national parliaments are determined by the parliament sitting as parliament. That no one has the right to choose himself or elect himself to represent the country. Because when you get to the ECOWAS Parliament, you are not going there as a member of parliament or member of parliament. You are going as the Ghana delegation to the parliament.
Ghana delegation nominated by
parliament to the ECOWAS Parliament. And what did we see again? When the Ghana Parliament took a decision to constitute the membership of the ECOWAS Parliament and did not include Afenyo Markin, he treated the resolution of Parliament with contempt by presenting himself to the ECOWAS Parliament as representing Ghana. Again, that's contemptuous of Parliament. That's why, so when I say I have a very low opinion of him, that's why I say so. Now, the President makes a State of the Nation address, and it will be debated. Okay, but because of leadership privileges granted leadership, even in the presence of the President, you are allowed to make some comments. And in making those comments, he imports into Parliament statements that are untrue. They are misleading. They are false about the recruitment into the security services. A figment of his own imagination. No foundation whatsoever.
That has not been established yet.
That's been established. That's why he's apologized. That's why he's apologized. It's not there. And so that conduct arising from the standing orders is contempt of Parliament. It's contempt of Parliament. And so his conduct was referred to the Privileges Committee. And that's where that ought to have been the case. And my beef with Parliament is what happened subsequently. It's my view that when the Speaker, sitting as Speaker, refers the conduct of a member of Parliament to the Privileges Committee, the process has been triggered. The Speaker cannot recall that referral unless there's a motion challenging the referral of the conduct of that member to the Privileges Committee. Why is this so? It's simply because no one wants to bastardize the processes. You can't approve it and reprove it. So when you do that, in law we say you become frontus officio. Immediately you refer the conduct, you become frontus officio. Your function as a speaker is ended. You have triggered. So that's all. Until a report comes back from the Privileges Committee, then your mandate to discuss that matter in Parliament is evoked or invoked. But, well, Parliament, they always hide under a general phrase. Parliament is a master of its own rules to bastardize the processes. And that's what happened. When they referred the conduct of the former member of Domi, Kwamenya constituency, to the Privileges Committee, up to now, we have not gotten a report on that. We have not. In the clear face of the provisions of the Constitution, which frowns upon such conduct. It makes it mandatory for the conduct of that member to be referred to the Privileges Committee. We have not. Again, when Afenyo Markin presented himself before the ECOWAS Parliament as representing Ghana and being part of the delegation of the Ghana Parliament, his conduct was referred to the Privileges Committee. The Privileges Committee is yet to. But be as it may, again, I heard Muntaka saying that he had accepted the apology. Then I said, but was it the contempt against Muntaka?
It's against Parliament.
It's against Parliament. He's not being held for defaming a member of Parliament. So it's not an exercise or a suit in defamation. It is on contempt of Parliament. So I fail to see again how the minister came in to accept the apology. The Speaker and the leadership of Parliament ought to have accepted the apology and then call on Muntaka to make a statement. But yes, the Muntaka was tangential to the statements being made, but that contempt was a contempt of Parliament and not a contempt of a member of Parliament. The rules don't say that if a member is defamed by another member of Parliament, that member of Parliament should be referred to the Privileges Committee. The rules don't say that. Say that if a member is in contempt of Parliament. So that's it. So, well, it's apologized, Parliament has accepted. Like I said, they will say that they are a master of their own rules. And so, who are we? But we expect that the rule of law should always be allowed to prevail in circumstances of this nature. Thank you.
You know.
Okay, abusuya we ne ensema ekoso e wo political highway ne so eye Honorable Inusa Fuseni and I yet nka say odesa ensem no to dwa e de amaya enye asem keto akwanti no Afenyo Markins abusuan asisi ade eja egu ni chima enye asem keto akra bedamase samoche pene kokoti sa ensem wi e de emai aha aye gossip politics TV so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be drop in also onsa ebitumi aka bedamase